Today is a day to celebrate. With gratitude, let us acknowledge those who share in our celebration. Our Chancellor, the Very Reverend Lois Wilson, President Dr. Bob Rosehart, the Board of Governors, the faculty, as well as family and friends. As we confront the challenges presented by the economic changes in our country, let us not lose sight of the personal dreams that were set in motion some time ago. A few of these dreams have reached reality. Many of them are yet to be discovered. The circumstances offered in our lives are unpredictable. Each graduate requires an innovative spirit. At a time when our country is in such great need, together, you have a wealth of current knowledge, resources, and ability. You are protectors of our precious environment, activity leaders, compassionate healers and providers of dignity, sources of information, creative performers in the arts, specialists in technology and design, and attentive listeners and researchers. Be ever mindful of the impact you are capable of and aspire to be lifelong learners. May your God bless you with justice when life demands hard choices, care for all that you serve, hope for your future, and trust that you can make a difference, wisdom to consider the effects of all of your actions, and on this very special day, may your God bless you with your heart's desires. Amen.
Declare this convocation open. Yeah, good, thank you.
Madam Chancellor, it is my privilege and pleasure to introduce a number of special guests. Would the individuals please stand and remain standing to be recognized? I will be calling out the names, and I would ask the audience to hold their applause until everybody has been introduced. Dr. George Osborne, Professor of Biology at Lakehead University, who is representing McGill University of Montreal. Madam Chancellor, I also take pleasure in introducing Dr. Jean L. Agnew, recipient of the Doctor of Laws in 1990. Dr. William A. West, recipient of the Doctor of Education, 1989. Mr. Pete Musselman, Fellow of the University, 1988. The Reverend Dr. Russell Peden, Fellow of the University, 1985. Madam Chancellor, I take particular pleasure in introducing Dr. Bill Tamblin, Doctor of Letters, 1981, Fellow of Lakehead University, 1984, and Lakehead University's first president, 1965 through 1972.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Mr. Tony Surratt, the Chair of the Board of Governors of Lakehead University, who will introduce the candidate for the title Fellow of Lakehead University. Mr. Surratt.
Madam Chancellor, Mary Ann Meisner was born in Blythe, Ontario, but grew up and attended elementary and secondary school in nearby Goderich. She attended Stratford Normal School and taught at RCAF Station Centralia for nearly 10 years. While there, she married James Donald Meisner, and they are the parents of 3 children, Bruce, Donald, and Anne. The family moved north to Dryden in 1965, and Mrs. Meisner again became involved in education, first as a parent volunteer and then as a trustee. She was elected in January 1975 to the Dryden Board of Education and retired from the board in December of 1991. While on the board, she served on every committee and chaired the board on 4 occasions. She served on the Provincial Secondary Education Review Project. She was honored by her fellow trustees with the Bernadine Yackman Award in 1987 and awarded an honorary life membership to the Ontario Public Schools Boards Association in 1991. Mrs. Meisner worked as constituency assistant to Leo Bernier for 12 years, retiring when he did in 1987. She currently sits on the Board of Handy Transit, is president of Unit 5, United Church Women, is active with the multi-year planning committee that assists in bringing clients home from the Northwest Regional Centre, and is secretary to the Dryden Family History Group. We're told that one of her proudest achievements is the compilation of a short history of Albert Street School, situated in Dryden, and currently Mrs. Meisner is involved in researching the history of Riverview Public School, also in her home community of Dryden. Madam Chancellor, it is my great privilege and pleasure to request, on behalf of the Board of Governors at Lakehead University, that you confer on Mary Ann Meisner the title Fellow of the University.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Mary Ann Meisner, the title Fellow of Lakehead University.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Betty Coates, the president of the Lakehead University Alumni Association, who will introduce the Alumni Honor Award recipient. Betty?
Madam Chancellor, Lynn McLeod was born, raised and educated in Winnipeg, Manitoba. She majored in English and French literature at the University of Manitoba, where she also met her husband, Neil McLeod, a native of Fort William. They moved to the Lakehead in 1968, and Lynn, soon established as a Northerner, earned a distinguished record of public service. She served 17 years as a trustee on the Lakehead Board of Education, including 7 years as chair of the board. She successfully dealt with many issues while in that position, including the effects of a teacher's strike. In recognition of her outstanding contribution to education, the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation presented her with the prestigious Lamp of Learning Award in 1979. Lynn earned an honors Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology from Lakehead University in 1984 and was the recipient of the Dean of Arts Medal and the Chancellor's Medal as the highest ranking student in the honors program. 2 years later, she received her MA in psychology. In 1987, Mrs. McLeod was appointed to Lakehead University's Board of Governors. Later that year, she was elected to represent the riding of Fort William and attended the university's 1988 Convocation exercises as Minister of Colleges and Universities. During her 2 years in this portfolio, Mrs. McLeod was responsible for several major initiatives, including the expansion of Contact North, which provides distance education to northern communities, a review of the Ontario Community College system, and the creation of Ontario's first French language college, La Cité Collégiale. In 1989, Mrs. McLeod was appointed Minister of Natural Resources and Minister of Energy. She also served on the Policy and Priorities Board of Cabinet. Mrs. McLeod dealt effectively with a number of controversial issues, including the Temagami conflict, the Rouge River Valley Park project, and a review of Ontario's energy needs for the next 25 years. Mrs. McLeod was re-elected in 1990 and served as Community and Social Services Critic for the official opposition before becoming leader of the Ontario Liberal Party on February the 9th, 1992. Until her election, Mrs. McLeod worked with troubled youth in the psychology department of McKellar Hospital in Thunder Bay. The McLeods have 4 daughters. Madam Chancellor, it is my privilege and pleasure to request on behalf of the Lakehead University Alumni Association that you confer on Lynn McLeod the Alumni Honor Award.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you, Lynn McLeod, the Alumni Honor Award. Congratulations. There it is.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present on behalf of the Senate of Lakehead University a distinguished colleague who has been awarded the title Professor Emeritus, Robert Charles Sims Ripley. Charles Ripley joined the Lakehead University Philosophy Department in 1967, thus starting his second career. He completed his PhD at the University of Western Ontario while serving as an Anglican priest in Curwood, Ontario, a small town near London, and by coincidence, the birthplace of the late Frank Doane, the first Lakehead philosopher. During his 25 years at Lakehead University, Charles has served on a number of very important committees and has served several times as chair of the Department of Philosophy and chair of the Interdisciplinary Religious Studies program. Although he is retiring from Lakehead University, it is unlikely that Charles will ever retire from philosophy. Congratulations.
Invite Lynn McLeod to address Convocation.
Thank you very much, Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, platform guests, members of faculty and of staff, ladies and gentlemen, and most particularly the members of the graduating classes of 1993. I was very pleased to have been invited to address you today on this very important occasion. I'm proud to be a graduate of Lakehead University, and I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak to the graduates who will now join the ranks of Lakehead alumni. I'm equally proud, as an alumna, of what Lakehead University has achieved. In its little more than quarter century of existence, Lakehead University has established itself not just as an important regional education resource, but as an integral and a vital part of the Ontario University system. There is certainly no question that it is a dynamic and a growing institution, developing a wide range of excellent programs and unique centers of excellence. The students who graduate today have had an opportunity to experience a very high quality of post-secondary education. And I say that from the perspective of both a graduate and a former minister of colleges and universities. As graduates, you should feel confident that the learning and the skills acquired in your years here will be valuable assets for success in the future. But I should tell you that even as you prepare to leave this university and start on a new road, it is very likely that you will return at some point to continue your education. Now, those of you who are finishing graduate work may be thinking enough is enough, while others may believe that it will be a very long time indeed before you're prepared to face the prospect of exams and papers again. But the reality is that in this world of rapid change, lifelong learning has become a necessity. It may be true, as B.F. Skinner said, that education is what is left when what is learned has been forgotten. Now, those of you who are psychology graduates may recognize that that's a rather strange comment coming from a behaviorist, but it has the ring of truth. Nevertheless, as educated people, you are going to feel the need to seek new skills and new learning throughout your career. Many of you who graduate today have already understood the need to further your educational experience and have returned as continuing education students. Some of you might even fit the rather euphemistic description, mature students. Now, I well remember the experience of returning here as a mature student. After more than 20 years out of school, I came back to pursue a degree in psychology. When I first arrived, my stress and my trepidation were rather extreme. I was armed with a yellowed transcript of the marks that I had received 20 years earlier, and I ventured off somewhat unsure of what I had learned those decades earlier, and very grateful that I wasn't questioned on any of it. Learning to study again is especially challenging when it includes trying to remember those grade 5 math concepts that I hadn't used since I was in high school. But I had my own way of coping with those very first challenges. In fact, I was so leery of doing statistics after 20 years that I simply memorized the entire statistics textbook. But memory was another issue when it came to writing those first exams. As a psychology student, I was well aware, of course, that while conceptual memory improves over the age of 40, rote memory begins to fade. And I really wasn't sure whether my 40-year-old brain was going to hold everything necessary to write that first 3-hour exam. Well, I managed to settle into the academic environment and completed my master's degree. And now when I look back upon the experience, it's with a high degree of satisfaction, perhaps even more so than with my original undergraduate work. Believe it or not, I say to all of you who are relieved to have written your final exams, you do get excited about learning again. But probably the fact that struck me most when I returned to school was that much of what my classmates of a younger generation had learned had been discovered since I left school. And that was not a depressing revelation. It was part of my excitement, because that discovery to me reflects the real achievement of an educated society. One purpose of education is certainly the transmission and the acquisition of knowledge, but education's highest goal is the creation of new knowledge. We do live in a rapidly changing world. a world in which our future success as a society and as individuals will depend on the creation of new ideas and the development of our talents and skills. And it is through education that we will achieve as well true equality in the societies of tomorrow. Nelson Mandela understood this when he emerged from some 25 years in prison and prepared to lead his people again. He said simply, "We must all go to school." Education is already enabling many to overcome barriers to participation. As we celebrate the achievement of every graduate today, we will see that as great a percentage of women are graduating as men, we will honor the achievement of a number of individuals who have had to overcome physical handicaps in order to attain their degree. And we will recognize that more Native people are participating in post-secondary education programs, although they are still too few. Those who are pioneers will blaze a trail for others, and Lakehead University, with its Native Studies Department, programs for Native teachers, Native nurses, and Native languages, is helping to address the barriers to participation. Through education, we develop the skills and the aptitudes that enable us to participate fully and equally in the opportunities that the future offers. Those opportunities themselves are changing. The world today is a far different world than the one that graduates entered just 2 or 3 decades ago. I remind the parents of today's graduates that when we left school, employers came to the campuses seeking us out, recruiting for jobs that would last a lifetime, a concept that is now as dated as the inkwells that we once had on our school desks. Parents must recognize that it is not as easy as that today. Graduates must endeavor to stay optimistic about their future and confident in themselves. Today's graduates will need a combination of persistence and aggressiveness in pursuit of the opportunities that emerge or that have to be sought out, along with composure when things don't work out quite as hoped. It's important to be flexible in what you're prepared to do and philosophical when the road ahead has some curves and detours. And it is essential to develop a breadth and a depth of skills. When I speak to senior executives who are charged with planning their company's path for the future, they tell me that they need employees who are adaptable to change, who can think through problems and communicate well, people who can be retrained for the jobs that may develop or emerge in the future. Our workplaces are undergoing an upheaval as immense and far-reaching as during the Industrial Revolution. You as graduates will be called upon to redefine your choices and rethink your preconceptions of what the workplace encompasses. Many of you will be self-employed or will job share or will work as freelancers contracting your services to different organizations. An entrepreneurial spirit and a willingness to welcome change even when it is unexpected will take you far. It's also important to redefine the way in which you measure the value of the work that you do and the worth of the contribution that you're making. Contributions to the community, for example, are not always reported in dollars, but are invaluable. You may gain a new awareness of your skills and abilities by helping others, and although volunteer service doesn't provide a steady paycheck, it offers an opportunity to gain needed experience, and it provides a vital service to your community. Lastly, let me touch on the kind of involvement that is close to my life and work. I'm speaking, of course, about becoming involved in the political process. When Mario Cuomo, the governor of New York, addressed a group of graduates at Iona College, he said, "Do we have the right to tell them they have an obligation in justice to participate in politics and government? Can we, without shame, say to them that our system of democracy works well only when there is involvement by all? That in our democracy, the policies that become law, the rules of justice, the treatment of individuals are the responsibility of each citizen." As a politician, I'm concerned about the cynicism directed towards the political process. But those of us involved in that process are also aware of how acutely important it is and why your involvement matters. I watched with a sense of awe and excitement when people in Eastern Europe were prepared to throw themselves in front of tanks to gain what we have always taken for granted, our freedom and our right to democratic government by the people, for the people. So I ask you, as you leave what I know has been a demanding process of personal and intellectual growth, that you now turn to the contribution that you can now make back into the life of this province and this nation. I urge you to look to the future with enthusiasm, to find excitement in the challenges that change will bring in the years ahead. I encourage you to stay open to new learning as your education continues in a myriad of formal and informal ways. I believe that what Franklin Delano Roosevelt said still holds true, that the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Put any doubts you may have away so that you can step into your tomorrows with confidence. To each of the graduates, congratulations and best wishes for future years filled with happiness and personal fulfillment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like to take this personal opportunity to congratulate the class of 1993. In acquiring a university degree, you have achieved a milestone that is still only achieved by a small percentage of the Canadian population. You should be proud of your accomplishment and the success and happiness that will come with it. Remember, however, that society has made a major investment in you, and as such, you have a social and moral obligation to provide leadership in return. Leadership not only in your chosen vocation, but also to society in general. These are challenging times for Canadians, but there is much room for optimism. Our economy continues to recover, albeit slowly. For the first time in over 20 years, our governments are starting to deal seriously with not only government spending, but also with the appropriate role for government in the lives of Canadians. Here in Thunder Bay, the city is embarking on an important community vision study. Lakehead University continues to see itself as a major growth sector for the city of Thunder Bay, but this opportunity will only be achieved with hard work and support from all sectors of the community. A special thanks this year to the many volunteer members of our Alumni Association who make the convocation process work. Your efforts are very much appreciated. Once again, congratulations to the class of 1993. We are very proud of you, and I am sure that you will do us proud. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Dr. John Whitfield, the Vice President Academic, who will introduce the candidates for degrees and diplomas. Dr. Whitfield.
Would the candidates please rise? Madam Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the academic requirements for degrees and diplomas and have complied with all the other requisites of the University. Madam Chancellor, will you admit these graduates?
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit you as graduates of Lakehead University.
Would the graduates please be seated? As we introduce the graduates for the degrees, would you please withhold applause until each group has been presented. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Professor Connie Nelson, Director of Research and Graduate Studies, who will introduce the candidates for graduate degrees and diplomas. Dr. Nelson.
Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I have the honor to present the candidates for the Master of Arts. Frank Alexopoulos. David Allen Antela. Shikhar Bose. Dorothy Jane Chitty. Mary Patricia Conklin. Congratulations. Barbara Lynn Hurd. Sharon Doreen Hawk. Mark Stephen McLeod. Mary Malik. Congratulations. Susan Sashna Hebert. Kathy Ann Woodbeck. Anita Arala. First class standing. Travis Glenn Belrose, first class standing. Congratulations. Oh, you didn't give me. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the candidates for graduate degrees and diplomas.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Professor Jim Gellert, Dean of Arts and Science, who will introduce the candidates for the Faculty of Arts and Science. Dr. Gellert.
Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Science, I have the honor to present the candidates for the degrees of Honours Bachelor of Arts, Honours Bachelor of Fine Arts, Visual Arts, Honours Bachelor of Music, Honours Bachelor of Social Work, Bachelor of Arts, Diploma in Library and Information Studies, Honours Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Science. Carrie Lynn Kapelik, first class standing. Sherry Ann Kapelak, first class standing. Janine Martha Chason, first class standing. Francis Duke, first class standing. Darlene Sandra Flood, first class standing. Keith Joseph Gregory, first class standing. John Maxwell Gurney, first class standing. Antoinette Larisa Savas, first class standing. Jeffrey Fraser Lee, first class standing. Kevin R. Ma, first class standing. Irene Mellis, first class standing. Kathy Jean Radul, first class standing. Della Nancy Saunders, first class standing. Michelle Marie Servet, first class standing. Mary Catherine Sparks, first class standing. Joanne S. Widowich, first class standing. Lee Elena Armstrong. Laura Louise Beebe. David Peter Blackwood. Heather Marie Campbell. Stacy S. Kress. Peter Doliska. Pamela Dong. Eileen Dunleavy. Phyllis M. Freeman. Regina Gomez. Michelle Lee Guitar. Robert Gomkowski. Chad D. Hall. Deborah Marie Hatcher. Trevor William Hertig. Sheila Ann Luttrell. Lorraine Florence Mayer. Stephen William McClelland. Dennis Harold McPherson. Andrea May Morenci. Stacy Beth Morton. Brent Olan. Drago Perkovic. Jennifer Margaret Reist. Janet Lynn Sanderson. Christopher D. R. Schedule. Deirdre Mary Smythe. J. Nelson Thatcher. David John Tynes. Tanya Lynn Wheeler Smith. Harold Gregory Whitlock. Stephen George Zamek. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Arts. Honours Bachelor of Fine Arts Visual, Kathleen Ann Ramsey, first class standing. Barbara Lee Sprague, first class standing. Judith Patricia Ward. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Fine Arts. Honours Bachelor of Music, Frances Erica Schmidt. And that, Madam Chancellor, concludes the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Music. Honours Bachelor of Social Work, Susan Marguerite Craig, first class standing. Heather Lynn Hopkins, first class standing. Mary Jane Lewandowski, first class standing. Kathleen Ruth McNabb, first class standing. Rachel M. T. Morris, first class standing. Linda J. Roberts, first class standing. Vicki Marie Verge, first class standing. Christina Elizabeth Bazilian. Catherine Lynn Davies. Linda Esther Davis. Michelle Gervais. Also the recipient of the Honours Bachelor of Social Work Ontario Association of Professional Social Works Award. Tracy L. Kiniski. Patricia E. Lewis. Bonnie Sue Lidmark. Edna Georgina Lockhart. Carrie C. Mosa. Deborah Eleanor Murray. Raymond Neckaway. Sandra Lynn Paul. Christina Ann Reddle. Lisa J. Sheffield. Juliana Marie Sherville. Jade H. Thorkelson. Maria Teresa Trainer. Lori Marjorie Watts. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Social Work. The Bachelor of Arts degree. Joanne Claire Agostino, first class standing. Marilyn Ann Arthur, first class standing. Valerie Barton, first class standing. Claudette Lena Marie Ballon, first class standing. Michael Bell, first class standing. Michelle Angelica Bonnet, first class standing. Jason A. Childs, first class standing. Lisa Ann Corso, first class standing. Carrie Lynn Frechette, first class standing. Monica Elise Giardetti, first class standing. Candace Mary Green, first class standing. Maureen Gay Hewlett, first class standing. Kennedy H. Jones, first class standing. Dorothea Mary Keats, first class standing. Beverly Ann McKinnon, first class standing. Margaret Sheila Metzela, first class standing. Bill George Pepler, first class standing. Terry Roberta Sabine, first class standing. Hendrika Scherhaus Schoenberger, first class standing. Elaine Elizabeth Sherwood, first class standing. Gloria Jean Simonitis, first class standing. Robert Terrence Storkson, first class standing. Alice Helen Trush, first class standing. Carol Lucille Voronin, first class standing. John Alexander Warman, first class standing. Lucy Agostino. Nurluda Hamad. Alan Michael Argis. Anne Marie Assad. Laurie Jane Bollock. Wendy Elizabeth Ballantyne. Solange Boileau-Dubois. Martin James Beck. Matt Bezan. Margaret Ann Bingham. Marilyn Yvonne Blunden. Patricia Jolene Bahonis. Shannon Lynn Boland. Philip Alexander F.
Bondi. Lawrence John Britt. Kevin Paul Broadhurst. Joyce Frederica Brown. Michelle Ada Brownlee. Jennifer Lee Burgess. William Burstow. Mark Kakamo. Charles Edward Cadenhead. Jane Ellen Kapelak. Allison Bridget Carroll. Kevin Martin Cerruti. Leek E. Chen. Kathleen Elizabeth Sismar. Francis James Clayton. Janine L. Colosimo. Diane Lucy Crocco. Jeffrey John Cornell. Go ahead. Diane Crocker. Donna Lynn Curry. Terry Edwin Darby. Shannon Kelly Davidson. Janeth Irene Davies. Michelle Julia de Blasio. James Robert Doherty. Mary Cecilia F. Drake. Cheryl Elizabeth Dunk. Deanne Lee Zerda. Marlene Violet Edwards. Stacy E. Fawcett. Charlene Lorraine Fair. Douglas William Ferguson.
Elizabeth Jane Fiddler. Tina Laurie Ficus. Pamela Lee Marie Fitzpatrick. Laura Ann Ferran. Pauline Jamel. Shelley Gillis. Peter Robert Joseph Gobiel. Robert Gumbola. Susan Lynn Glidden. Bobby Lynn Gordon. Karen Michelle Greaves. Kara Green. Maria Rosina Gutta. Donald R. Hall. Janice Catherine Harding. Christine Harrower. Laura Lee Hasaguchi. Peter Sean Highthorne Altoff. Janice Madeline Henderson. That's Janice, I'm told. Linda Marie Houston. Raymond Hubbard. Tanya Christina Hughes. Janiska Maria Januz. Christy Ann Johnson. Stanley Gary Johnson. Krista M. Johnston. Kim Leanne Carrioa. Stella Keast. Susan Elizabeth Kemp. John C. Kibsey. Barbara Karen Knott. Stephen Alexander Kranyuk. Ivan Norman Lafon. Ulia Lado. Taylor Lee. Richard Hubert Lassouillet. Joanne Margaret Lefebvre. Sheldon Joseph Levine. Therese Marie Lim. Jennifer Mallow. Go ahead, Jennifer. Lisa Marie Martel. Go ahead, Lisa. Tanya Gail Manu. Martha Mawakisik. Elizabeth Catherine Maxton. Maureen Ann McCart. Catherine McGuire. William Sean McLeod. Go ahead, William. Barbara Modesto. Pamela Suzanne Mork. Tammy Michelle Morpak. Raymond Neckaway. Terry Dale Oja. Carrie Ann Olofsson. Marilyn Elizabeth Austin. Pamela Margaret Peaver. Kelly Lynn Persey. Jennifer Reed. William Stephen Riddle. Ruth M. Robinson. Robert Louis Rocco. Cindy Lynn Marie Roche. Gabriella Socia. David E. Simkinen. Nancy Jane Smith. Candace Lee Sokolik. Vasil Sokolik. Raymond John Spirka. Wendy Diane Steed. Teresa May Stevens. T. Michael Strickland. Richard David Syria. Vivian Mabel Thomas. Leslie Sandra Viant. Daniel Guy Ventrudo. Georgina Hazel Wabus. Glad you made it. Hillary Patricia Williamson. Terrell Gwen Willis. Sheila Doreen Wilson. Amanda Wolford. Helen Diane Warrenen. And that, Madam Chancellor, concludes the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree. Sure, why don't you take those, Brian? For the Diploma in Library and Information Studies, Jean Trudy Maraker, first class standing. Janeth Irene Davies. Vivian A. Haberin, also the recipient of the Prize of the Ambassador of Switzerland to Canada Award for the highest, or the graduating student with the highest standing in German. Roxanne Meritz. That, Madam Chancellor, concludes the candidates for the Diploma in Library and Information Studies. For the Honors Bachelor of Science degree, Alexander Karl Yushik, first class standing. Also the recipient of the Biology Department Prize, awarded to the highest ranking graduating student in biology. Karia H. Kokkonen, first class standing. David Anthony Love, first class standing. Laurie E. McDonald, first class standing. Robert Thomas Markowicz, first class standing. Karen Pumala, first class standing. Christian T. Alexa. Michelle Pauline Charbonneau. Derek Frederick Hatfield. Martin Andrew Jones. Natalie S. McCormick. Kalsum Maud Ghazali. Lisa Dawn Morden. John Arthur Rhodes. Tara J. Taylor. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the candidates for the degree of Honours Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Science. Anjali Gupta, first class standing. Roland Mark Landry. Terry Eugene Wood. Lloyd Mack, first class standing. Tanya Dora Objek, first class standing. David C. Probazanski, first class standing. Samjit Rujamathabas, first class standing. Mark Adamkrick. Mark Sterling Berry. Derek Kevin Britt. Catherine Darcy Britton. Jason R. Bryan. Christopher David Burns. Leanne Marie Carpenter. John Cava. Melissa Lavinia Coates. Pamela Dong. Patricia Karina N. Lisa Dawn Henderson. John L. Cantula. Jacqueline Vermette Lafreniere. Kim Nelson McDougall. Melissa A. McLean. Jeffrey Patrick McMillan. Ali Mobahat. Brent P. Olson. Vivian Michelle Piercy. Laura Jean Provenzano. John Arthur Rawlings. Damian Schofeld. Garth Evan Thorogood. Robert Wheeler. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Science. And concludes the presentation of the candidates from the Faculty of Arts and Science.
Madam Chancellor, you'll be pleased to know that the most rapidly growing segment of the university is arts and science. Madam Chancellor, the graduating classes of the Faculty of Professional Studies will be presented by the school directors. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present Professor Lauren McDougall, the Director of the School of Nursing, who will introduce the candidates for degrees in nursing. Dr. McDougall.
Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Professional Studies, I have the honor to present the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Melinda Arnold, first class standing.
Go ahead.
Faith Jacqueline Fawcett, first class standing. Susan Fletcher, first class standing. Michelle Gillard, first class standing. Susan Ellen Griffiths, first class standing. Do you want to join?
Pardon?
Do you want to join? Karen Joy Harris, first class standing. Jennifer Jones, first class standing. Deborah Marie Kelly, first class standing. Hi. Karen Lorraine Kitkowski, first class standing. Karen Ann McQueen, first class standing. Linda Ann Otway, first class standing. Patricia Marie Pauley, first class standing. Patricia Jane Piaskowski, first class standing. Kristen Ann Plant, first class standing. Joanne Catherine Robin, first class standing. Karen Ann Teresa Saraduke, first class standing. Connie Lynn Scambaluri, first class standing. Marilyn Ruth Smith, first class standing. Rose Chi Kwong Stitt, first class standing. Barbara Jean Diane Wark, first class standing. Rosemary Ann Wilson Gallant, first class standing. Marty John Berger. Teresa M. Bertoldo. Krista Marie Bolton. David Jason Earl Brown. Karen Chan. Diane Joan Christie. Carol Louise Coates. Holly Jane Davidson. Gary Kenneth Andrew Erickson. Linda Arlene Fieldhouse. Marilyn Louise K. Fiore. Eva Marie Gillingham. Heather Lynn Harris. Jillian Ann Hearn. Heather Jane Kerr. Karen Vera Koropeski. Anna May Leschuk. Carola Lindenstruth. Louise Marcil. Lana G. Masterlertz. Sherilyn McEwen. Joyce Emma J. McKay. Orpa McKenzie. Cynthia Lynette Moyle. Danette Nemi. Michael John Nisbet. Kimberly Lane Ott. Robin Lynn Patterson. Kimberly Ann Rudder. Catherine Lynn Sager. Joanne Edith Shaw. Melanie Joy Stevens. Daisy Sugarhead. Cynthia Walker. Rayanne Judith Wabus. Joan Elizabeth Wagner. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the candidates for the School of Nursing.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present Professor Henry Ackerville, the Director of the School of Outdoor Recreation, Parks and Tourism, who will introduce the candidates for degrees in outdoor recreation. Dr. Ackerville.
Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Professional Studies, I have the honour to present the candidates for the Honours Bachelor of Outdoor Recreation. Heather Grace Roy, first class standing, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Catherine Spice Tressiter, first class standing, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, first class standing. Anna Marie Algarvio. Elizabeth Ruth Anderson, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Craig Mackenzie Armstrong, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Sandra Benny, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Nicole M. Bosbert, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Dawn G. Campbell. Angus Peter Carr, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Sarah Marie Cormode, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Solange Dixon. Patricia Carolyn Elliott, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Kenneth Glenn Jacoby, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Catherine Amelia Kobus, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts. Scott G. Kress, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Christine G. Lance. Donnie S. Mills. Natalie Lynn Nelson, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Michael Mark Odes. Vicki Joan Perkins, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Susan Louise Pinter, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts. Scott Peter Robinson, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts, Geography.
I'm sorry.
Laura Lynn Sayers.
Thank you.
Barbara Siegel, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts. Alexandra Carola Trevoranis, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Science. Jared William Joseph Verstraete, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts. Todd Jason Yeats, concurrent degree, Bachelor of Arts. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentations of the candidates from the School of Outdoor Recreation, Parks and Tourism.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present Penny Paulerine, the Registrar, who will receive the degrees and diplomas on behalf of all absent candidates. Madam Chancellor, I have the honour to present Mr. Ian Cull, the Acting Director of Student Services, who will announce the winners of medals and awards.
Madam Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present the graduates who, through their efforts, have been singled out for special recognition. Will the winners of the medals and awards please proceed to the side of the stage and come forward when their names are called. The Poulin Award, an award for outstanding citizenship to the students selected by her fellows, the faculty and administration, as contributing most to the welfare of the university through her student activities. To be presented by first Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Patrick O'Brien. This year's recipient is Cassandra Rita Conan, who was not able to attend. The President's Award. Awards given annually to graduating students who have occupied positions of responsibility in the students' organizations and who, by their activities and achievements, have earned the gratitude of the university. These awards will be presented by the President. Ian Thomas Farrow, who is not able to attend. Rosemary Ann Wilson Gallant. Michelle Lee Gervais. Donnie S. Mills. The Dean of Arts and Science medals to the highest ranking graduate students in the arts, presented by the Dean of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Gellert. For the 3-year program, Teresina Fabiano. Elaine Sherwood. Darlene Sandra Flood. Heather Lynn Hopkins. The Dean of Arts and Science medals presented to the highest ranking graduating students in science. Lloyd A. Mack. Alexander Karl Yushevik. Robert Thomas Markowicz. The Dean Braun medals are awarded to the highest ranking graduate students in the Faculty of Professional Studies. These medals will be presented by the Director of the School of Engineering, Dr. Locker. Honors Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Marilyn Ruth Smith. Honors Bachelor of Outdoor Recreation, Catherine Elizabeth Tressiter. Library and Information Studies, Cheryl Marie Ross, who is unable to attend. The Governor General's Gold Medal, awarded to the highest ranking student in the graduating class of the master's degree, and this will be presented by Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Tony Surrett. This medal is presented to Mr. Jamie Arthur Dice. Mr. Dice was unable to attend. The Lieutenant Governor's Medal, awarded to the highest ranking graduating student in a 3-year bachelor's degree, will be presented by first Vice Chairman of the Board of Governors, Mr. Patrick O'Brien. and is presented to Lloyd A. Mack.
Congratulations.
Mr. Surratt. The Chancellor's Medal, awarded to the highest-ranking part-time student in the graduating class of the bachelor's or honors bachelor's degree, will be presented by the Chancellor. Derek Kevin Britt. Dorothea Mary Keats. Hendrika Schurhaus Schoenberger. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentations of winners of medals and specials awards. But I also wish to draw attention to the other awards listed at the back of the program. Madam Chancellor, I am pleased on your behalf to invite all those present to the Chancellor's Luncheon to be held in the main and residence cafeterias on the campus of Lakehead University immediately after the close of Convocation.
I hereby declare this convocation closed.